Good evening, students. My name is Sukriti Arora. On behalf of Board of Studies Academics, I would like to welcome you all on today's live coaching class on Intermediate Group 2 Paper 7A Enterprise Information Systems. I, along with our eminent speakers, would be taking you through the entire subject, and we would be discussing how you can go about the start of the subject. Today being the first day of the sessions, we thought that we can share our ideas, some thought processes, tips and tricks which you can adapt to start the subject. My eminent speakers would be taking you in detail the entire syllabus of the subject. Today, I would give you an initial talk of say around 30 minutes of how you can start the subject. What should be the strategy that you can adopt to prepare well for the examination. These sessions are meant for the students who are supposed to appear in November 2022 examination. However, the C lessons or the sessions are applicable for May 22 examination appearing students also. So these sessions can act as a revisionary classes for the students who are supposed to appear in May 2022 examination, and can act as a preparatory sessions for those who are supposed to appear in November 2022 examination. I would give you an initial talk about what shall be your strategy. I will share some ideas of mine which you can use while preparing for the examination and do fairly well in the exam. So my co-host will be C. Atil Kumar Gupta ji, and we would start the session from 6:30 onwards or so. Before that, I would just give you a bird's eye view about what the subject is all about, why are we studying the subject, and what should be the strategy so as to plan well for the examination. The subject is of 50 marks, and the objective of the subject, we should be able to understand and appreciate why the subject is important for us and why do we need to study the subject at all. Because till the time we will not appreciate the existence of the subject in our curriculum, we will not be able to do the justice for its preparation. So the objective of the subject is to develop an understanding of technology-enabled information systems and their impact on enterprise-wide processes, risks, and controls. We know that in today's computerized environment, we have been doing the work throughout on information systems. So whenever there is a system which involves the technology, simultaneously we will have certain risks. There would be certain risks that we are able to anticipate in advance, and we can try to strategize or bring out certain controls to figure out for those risks. But there would be certain risks that we are not able to anticipate at the time of the development of the systems. And then obviously the controls need to be placed as and when those risks occur. So it is a constantly evolving subject, and it's not that you will have to study the subject as a rote learning process. Rather, it's an evolving process. You need to evolve with the subject. And the syllabus that's all there is very much relevant for your curriculum. All the business processes that are going to be here in the study material are related to your industry only. So the very first thing that I would like to emphasize is that the study material that you have is of 5 chapters, and each of the chapter has the equal weightage, which is 15% to 25%. So if you see, there is just no scope for you to go for the selective study, and each of the chapter carries the equal weightage. When I say equal weightage, that means there is the importance of each and every chapter, and you just cannot afford to skip any chapter as such. So what shall be the process? You need to go in depth, because when we will be going down, we will see that the subject has MCQs also, and those multiple choice questions really test your understanding about the topic. So it would not only be the mugging of the subject or the concepts. You need to establish a clear-cut understanding of all the concepts. My team will definitely be taking all the queries of yours as and when you will be raising the concerns of yours. And I would like to mention one thing here, that these live coaching classes are going to be very much helpful for your preparedness. So the best and the ideal situation would be that as and when your classes are going on, you try to go through with the same topics in the next, because the classes are going to be alternate. So whenever you get the time, you try to understand the concepts and read the concepts in the study material. And if you get to have any query, just bring out those concerns of yours in the next class, so that you develop at least a basic understanding of the subject. And when these classes will get over, the classes that we are going to have would be somewhere around 16 in number. So throughout this month, you will have your classes. So after these classes get over, you will have a technical conceptual clarity. And then when it will come for your own preparedness, we will discuss that how can we go about it. So as we have already said that the section-wise weightage for each chapter is uniform, that is 15% to 25%. So if you see it in terms of marks, it's somewhere around 7.5 marks to 12.5 marks. So that means every chapter coverage will be somewhere between the range of 7.5 to 12.5. So each and every chapter is important. And obviously, when I say the chapter, you need to be very thorough about with all the topics. Now, before we start for the preparation of any subject, you have to have a bird's eye view that how much is the depth of the subject, so that you can plan the time allocation for that subject. Here we have already seen that the subject has 5 chapters in it. And this chapter number 1 has the topics which is related to introduction to enterprise business processes, benefits, risks and controls. And then you appreciate the thing that when the concept is given, we talk about what are the enterprise business processes, what are the benefits, risks and controls. And then we will be talking about specific business processes: procure to pay, order to cash, hire to retire, SCM, fixed assets. And then we will talk about the risks and controls related to these business processes. Why are we emphasizing on risks and controls? Because the application part is something which everybody does. But when it comes to understand the information system, the foremost thing is that how do we get to know what are the risks that could be occurring in my information system. And when we get to anticipate the risks, then only we can plan for the controls. So risks simultaneously with their countermeasures we will be talking about. And then comes the diagrammatic representation of business processes. And this diagrammatic representation we will be doing through flowcharts. And once these risks and controls are done, what are the supports that are being provided to us through Information Technology Act? Suppose there are certain cyber crimes. So what kind of immunity do we get from the IT Act 2000? We will be talking about those particular sessions. So now, if you see here, this diagram is nothing new, but I would like you all to prepare the diagram of each chapter before you start that particular chapter. Why do we do so? The very first thing that I would like to make a point here is that till the time you will not categorize how many sections are there in one chapter, you will not be able to strategize the time that should be allotted to that particular topic. Generally, what happens that when we study, we start studying, and when then we start studying in these topics, and we do not understand why those topics are there, and then it becomes a monotony kind of a thing. Here, if we see, section 1.2 in your study material is categories. So we are talking about what type of categories business processes we have. Then we talk about their automation. Automation is going to handle in it the objectives, benefits, challenges, and implementation. Then we will talk about certain risks and its management, certain terminologies that are related with the risks. Where would the risks be? Risks would be because of the automation. And then we will talk about the ERM framework, enterprise resource management. We have talked about risks, then we need to talk about the controls. So when we talk about the controls, then we will see that how this risk and control can be implemented in the business processes. Here in your study material, we have talked mainly about these 6 business processes, P2P, O2C, inventory cycle, likewise. So we will see that we have discussed what can be the risks, what could be the controls, what is the objective of having a control. And through these business processes, we will talk about the associated risks individually and the countermeasures and the controls. Once these risks and controls are discussed, we will talk about how do we represent any of these business processes. So it's not only the business process, it could be the representation of any process using the flowcharts. And at the last, we will see that what are the compliance requirements, data provide requirements, and what is the immunity provided to us through these companies Act and IT. Before we proceed further, I would like that whatever queries you will have, you can always send those queries to me, because I would try to take up most of your queries in the last 5 to 7 minutes. But before that, if you have any queries, just put them across and we would be more than happy to deal with them. So what is the objective of bringing out this flowchart to you is that if you see the entire chapter of yours is divided into 9 sections. And these 9 sections, if you are through with, means you are through with the chapter. So your big problem has further been subdivided into 9 subproblems. So if I am able to do with my 1.2, and what 1.2 deals with operational supporting management categories of business processes. So if I am through with this particular section, that means my 1.2 part is over. So if you see, 1/8 of my chapter is done. Then if I talk about 1.3, what do I need to do in this? I just need to go through with objectives, benefits, challenges, and implementation. Once I am through with this, that means my 1.3 is also done. Now, if you are trying to read the chapter, why this particular section has come, why this particular topic has come in between, subtopic has come in between, till the time you will not appreciate the flow of the information within a chapter, you will not be able to grasp why and how I need to study around. So I have just tried telling you that here it has a proper flow of information. So we talk about categories. Once this much is done, that means my 1.2 is done. 1.3 likewise is done. Risk and its management. Section by section, if you prepare for your chapter, at the last you will see that all the topics have been done and you are very much comfortable in attempting any type of a question belonging to any of these sections. Right? So the concept here is that we need to understand as well as we need to prepare well for the examination. It's not only the understanding that would help you in getting the marks. Of course, it is a foremost thing, but at the end of the day, you need to strategize also that how do I appear in the examination? How do I write my answers so that I get the good marks? So if you see, your main problem of chapter 1 has been divided into 8 subparts. And slowly and steadily, if I prepare for these subparts, my chapter gets prepared. And whenever you are preparing for, say, 1.3, do try to revise previous topic 1.2. Then you will be moving for 1.4, do try and revise 1.2 and 1.3. So whenever you are planning for the next study, do give at least 15 minutes to the topic that you had done a day before. Because end of the day, it shouldn't be a case that you start sowing more and more seeds, but if you forget to water those seeds, obviously at the last of the day, you will be able to get only few plants in your hand. So it's not only that we keep on moving ahead, we need to keep on revising the previous topics as well. And you will see that the more you revise, the more you will get comfortable, and slowly and steadily your inner conscious will tell you that, okay, because this is the way I tried last day, and this was not sufficient when I am revising. It doesn't seem to be quite enough. So that means now whatever I am going to study, I need to be again a bit more concentrated. Similarly for chapter 2 again has these topics, which is integrated ERP and non-integrated systems. Wherever you will say, you will find that risks and controls are there in each of the chapter, because end of the day, our objective of the subject is to understand what can be the probable risks and how can we control, because we cannot keep the risks unattended. Then the business process modules, these will be associated with the financial and accounting systems. So the chapter 2 financial and accounting systems, I would just take you to the diagram. So again here, these are the subsections which are there. So how many topics do we need to understand in chapter 2 are 2.2 to 2.10. And you will appreciate the flow of the information that we are initially talking about ERP and non-integrated systems. Then again, what could be the probable risks and controls that are associated in the ERP environment? Then what do we need? Why do we need to have audit of ERP systems? A small case study which is there in the study material to make you understand. And then the various business process modules of ERP and again their associated risks and controls. So why there is so much of emphasis on risks and controls? That makes the subject most interesting and that makes the subject growing throughout. Then reporting systems, MIS, data analytics, business intelligence, business reporting, which is done through the XBRL, standard reporting language, and obviously last, the applicable regulatory and compliance requirements. So again, I have tried telling you here that whole of the chapter comprises of these topics. And if I complete topic by topic, I would realize that in very limited time and with proper strategy, I have covered my entire chapter 2. And whenever again, I would emphasize that whenever you are trying to read a new topic, do revise the previous one. When your live coaching classes are going on, try at least reading those topics. That would be the ideal situation, that as and when whichever topic has been completed in the session, you try revising those through the study material so that you build a fair understanding of the topics. Obviously, the preparedness can't start with the live coaching sessions, but once these coaching sessions are done, you build up an understanding and those sessions would be available to you in the recorded mode also. So when you start studying the detailed study of the subject, then you can always refer to these recorded lectures and try understanding the concept. However, even if that will not be sufficient, you can always pose your queries to us through the mobile app and we'll be more than happy to answer those. Okay. Good evening to so many students. Everybody has wished me and I also wish you all. But do pose your queries if you have any regarding your preparedness or the applicable study material. Okay. ठीक है, मैं हिंदी में भी बोलना चाहूंगी कि आप प्लीज अपनी जो स्टडीज हैं उनको थोड़ा अच्छे से प्लान करें. प्लान करने का फायदा आपको ये रहेगा कि जब आपके एग्जाम्स लास्ट में आएंगे आपको बहुत प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगी. सो यू प्रिपेयर बाय अंडरस्टैंडिंग, सो यू विल सी दैट द सब्जेक्ट गेट्स रेडी so easily. Generally, I have seen students prepare putting up a time clock. Okay, for 1 hour I will have to study and I will study or cover up say 10 to 12 pages. So to do so, what happens that they simply end up reading the subject, reading those 10 to 12 pages without understanding. I would rather suggest you that because you have quite a lot time, what you can do is that you should not use the time as a trigger. Rather, you should see that, okay, today I will be completing entire 2.4, for example. Okay, so how much time is it going to take? To some students, it may take say 2 hours. To some students, it may take 1.5 hours. Or to some students, it may take say 1 hour. So that depends on your understanding. That depends on how well you understand the concept. But initial time giving would always be helpful to you rather than doing the studies in a hush-hush way. And end of the day, you will have lot of lacunas. You will see that you have covered the entire subject, you have done all the chapters, still you are not comfortable in any of them. The other one myth that is there, I would like to clarify here only, that students keep asking, ma'am, do we write only the headings in the answers or not? See, that is the later part, because we will have certain more sessions when we will talk about how do you appear and write the answers in the examination. But having said that, because it's a part of your preparation, I would emphasize that only the headings will not do. You all are intermediate students, so it is something which is not expected from you. Only the headings will not work. Heading part has been taken care by MCQ portion, wherein you don't even need to remember the headings. The concept is very much, the options are there and you need to choose. But when it comes for the descriptive part, you have to demonstrate how well you have understood that particular topic. So when it's a question of say 6 marks, you need to write the answers which commensurate with those 6 marks just by giving the headings. If the question is discuss, then listing will not work. So answers that are provided generally by the student is they simply mention the headings and expect that they are going to get 6 on 6. So that shall not be the criteria. And if you have understood the subject, if you have built up a good understanding of the topics, that should not be a problem. Similarly, chapter 3, components of information systems and its components. This is a chapter which is running in say 100 pages and quite interesting. Though the syllabus of this particular chapter seems to be very little, but it actually covers a lot of things. So here we see that information systems, anything and everything is required in this particular subject. So information systems, components, classification, EIS auditing, because due to paucity of the time, I have just checked up the time. So we will see that chapter 3, similarly chapter 4, the flowchart that is there. These are the topics fairly, 4.2 components, 4.3 architecture, workflow diagram, and these the emerging technologies. So the entire purpose of showing this particular slides to you is that though the subject seems to be running in say 300 pages, the study material is there in 300 pages, but if you divide your chapters into subsections and you complete those sections by section, so you will see that if you are through with 4.2, then if you are through with say virtualization, then BYOD. So likewise, you will see that you have been able to cover the entire chapter. And again, I would emphasize that more time you will give in your initial reading, initial understanding, the better would be your position during your examination time, because you would have by that time understood the concepts, and try making and jotting certain more points as and when you are reading your subject, so that they become handy notes for you during the examination revision. Similarly, for chapter 5, this again is the flowchart. You will see that majorly it has 6 sections, and if you cover up these topics in detail, entire chapter gets covered. Now for November 2022 examination, September 2021 edition of the study material is applicable. Each chapter has illustrations, in the last the summary, and test your knowledge questions, which are the descriptive questions. January 2022 edition of booklet on MCQ and case scenarios. This particular booklet deals with the MCQ part. So when we talk about the MCQ, they will have 2 type of questions that I will just inform you in a couple of minutes. And then the other viewers publications that are revision test paper, references for quick revision, mock test papers, and suggested answers. You are very well aware about these viewers publications, and you should try using these resources because these are meant for you only. You can always refer to the viewers website and portal. You will have the availability of all these resources These are very, very handy to you, and you should be in a habit of using these resources because they will help you and aid you in your preparation. Now the skill-wise weightages, types of questions in the question paper. You will get to see that majorly there are two types of questions, which are C&K and analysis and application based. C&K are basically there to demonstrate how well you have understood the concept, whereas analysis and application, as the name suggests, would require you to analyze what the question is all about and then to apply the concept. And so that means you need to firstly identify which concept is applicable in this particular situation. So very briefly, I will discuss what is generally the paper pattern. Paper pattern is having two parts in it, which is multiple choice questions and the descriptive questions. Multiple choice questions are of 15 marks and descriptive questions are of 35 marks. So this was introduced to discourage the rote learning. But we have seen that students generally end up getting very little score or poor score in MCQ part because they don't develop an understanding of the subject. What we get to have in part 1 is it's of 15 marks. So we get to have a case scenario, integrated case scenario that will have a case that would try to cover almost the entire syllabus of yours. So it would cover certain situations that would arise from each chapter. However, it's not necessary that it may so happen, but you will have a case scenario and you read that case and then there will be questions posed on those case scenarios. And for this particular preparation, you can always refer to the MCQ and case scenario booklet that I have just talked about. So you will have 5 MCQs of 2 marks each. So they may be posed either through the case scenario or the independent. So they will mainly be the analysis and application based questions, wherein you would try to, the examiner would try to test your analysis and application skills. The remaining 5 marks, you will have 5 MCQs and each MCQ will be of 1 mark each. These will be majorly posed on definitions or say C&K based questions, wherein you would be simply demonstrating the conceptual clarity of the topic. Now, out of these 4 options that would be there, because it's a multiple choice, you will have to choose the most appropriate answer to that particular MCQ, and there will be no negative marking for the wrong answer. Now, coming to the 35 marks portion, which is the descriptive question. For this, I have already discussed few things that you need to elaborate the answers that would commensurate with the marks allotted to that question. In our later sessions, we would try holding one more session wherein we can talk in detail what can be the possibility, how do you need to write the answers. But obviously, when you are in the initial stage, because the sessions are just about to start, the foremost thing for you is to understand the subject and to be aware how good and evolving the subject is. You need to develop a fair understanding, and our technical experts would definitely take you through the entire syllabus of the subject. So here the question number 1, descriptive questions. We will have one compulsory question of 5 marks and it will have 2 subparts of 3 and 2 marks each. Remaining 4 questions are of 10 marks each, and out of which a candidate has to appear or attempt only 3 questions. Each question of 10 marks is divided into 2 subparts of 6 and 4 marks. Now here the questions are of fixed weightage, 6 and 4 marks. So here we will have to see that how well do we need to answer the question which is of say 6 marks and 4 marks. So this is how the entire subject is. I have just tried giving you a cursory glance of the entire course of the subject. And our expert, C. Atil Kumar Gupta ji, will be taking you through the chapter 1 now. But welcome, sir.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, sir, and I welcome you. I would just take another couple of minutes before I wind up, and then the session would be all yours. So, students, my sincere advice would be to suggest that the subject is a subject which is very much dynamic, and the myth that most of you would have is that the subject doesn't belong to our curriculum. Sir would definitely be giving you so many real life examples wherein you will be able to relate what you are studying in the chapters to the real life examples. So try building your understanding. And once the understanding is established, once you appreciate the existence of the subject in your curriculum, you will be able to do the justice. The paper is of 50 marks and it's quite a lot scoring. Those students who gave a good time to the subject really achieved very, very good marks in the subject. But those who just give a cursory glance to it obviously land up with very little marks, and then this particular subject becomes a bone of contention for them. So I would request that because today is a start, I just wanted to give you a thought process. You can just have a look at the subject, try getting how you want to go about it. Okay. So, sir, Atul sir?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir.
Good evening.
You may please carry on. Good evening, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Happy learning, students.
So, good evening to all the students. With permission of Sukriti madam. So, may I share my slide?
Sure.
Yeah.
Just a second.
Okay. So, just because we are starting the session, I want to update on the video, audio, and the PPT. So, I think everything is okay. Okay. So, I'm just refreshing your questions. So, I just went through the questions you all have put. I've kept a separate screen for the questions that you are putting. So, one of you have asked, sir, is this theory or practical? So, please understand, to me personally, there is absolutely not a single word that is theory in this whole subject. Every line, every word in the chapter and the subject is absolutely practical, not a word of theory. So please understand. See what Sukriti madam said. I'll just start from there itself, that this whole subject is absolutely practical. There is no theory aspect to the subject, and that must make your scoring really good. So you must be able to score very good. And please understand, whenever we start a batch, I create a target for all of you. And the target is that we all will get not less than 80% mark in this subject. So paper 7A, you will all score 40 or more than 40. So please be like this. जैसे महाभारत में कृष्ण की महाभारत में अर्जुन को सिर्फ चिड़िया की आंख ही दिखाई दे रही थी, वैसे ही आप सब सिर्फ 80% नंबर को देखेंगे. So as in Mahabharata, Arjun was only focused on the eye of the bird. So you need to be focused on at least 40 or more marks in the subject. So be sure on that, and we'll have a great study, great learning as we go ahead. So let us start the chapter. I'm just, by the time that your question screen is refreshing, so there must be some good reasons why it is refreshing. So as it comes, I'll try to ask as many questions as you can. I love to answer questions during the session itself. So please feel free. I've kept the screen on the parallel laptop so that I can see whatever you are asking to me. So yeah. Okay. Now, so today's topic is chapter 1, automated business process. So Sukriti madam has already gone through the sub parts of the chapter. Let us start the chapter. So let me ask the first question. So madam has told you that I'll be sharing lot of practical example. In fact, please believe me, I don't find a word that is theory in the subject. So let us start with the first part of the session. The first question that you need to answer, we'll be having lot of question and answer beyond the MCQs that you are all going through. The first question that I'm asking you is that this whole that institutes video learning classes or live video classes that we all are seeing, is it a good example of automatic or automation of a business process? So what you have to say that institutes this live video classes, is it a good automation example? You have to say yes or no. So just enter Y or N, and then I'll get your answers, and then we'll go ahead. So see, please understand the topic that we have today is automated business process. So when you say automated business process, what exactly is the idea? That whatever, so there is a core understanding that we need to create, that there is an existing business process that is being automated. So that means when you modify, change, upgrade an existing business process, there must be something that you want from this upgrade. There must be something that you want to improve upon. That is why you go for this whole idea about automation of business process. So why this automation has to be there, if it has to be there. So we'll be talking about the automation of the business process. Then we shall be talking about this risk to business. I'll share lot of questions on this, the idea about the risk. I'm just relogging to your question set. Yeah. So the risk parameter, the strategies that you adopt to compensate, mitigate risk. Do you recall an auditing standard where the word mitigate comes? So see, my belief is that ours is a king subject. King subject means whatever you read accounting standards, you read income tax, you read auditing standard. Now the way technology has been built into businesses, every business uses lot of technology. So whatever you have read has to be part of the technology. So our is a king subject. It sits on top of all the subjects. Okay. So I've raised a query to you. Please try to answer. Name the auditing standard in which you find the word mitigate. Okay. So I'll be doing a lot of these question answers so that you can relate to the subject the way you are learning. So this is exactly what is needed from all of us, the practicality of whatever we are doing. So we are not going to just run through and mug up the subjects. Absolutely not. We are going to understand, create a concept out of it, and see how this can be used in a real life situation. So second topic will be about risk, and then continuing that, the concept of enterprise risk framework. And see, flowchart is one. I did see one of the questions put by one of you is that whether how many numerical questions are there in this EIS as a subject. So one question that you generally find in examination is on flowchart. So flowchart may be 6 marks, 8 marks, or 10 marks question, as it may come. To me, it's a 100% scoring question. You get full out of full if you have the understanding, clarity of the concept of how flowcharts have to be created. So what we'll be doing, flowcharts is a very big topic. It takes a lot of time. To save on time, every day at the last part of the class, we'll have a separate session on flowchart on the third day of chapter 1. But to keep your awareness up, at the end of just at the last 10-15 minutes of each class, I'll be briefing you about the flowchart. I'll give you some exercise to do on flowchart that I'll request all of you to answer. And I'll show you the right way of looking at those things. Okay. Then these are standard disclaimers that are always there. Okay. So let us go ahead. Now see, when we talk about this whole concept of automation of business process, this issue of integrated and non-integrated comes. So I'm just putting this question to, in fact, let me bring an advertisement that we must have seen. One of our very famous cricketer has been used to come in an advertisement of a water purifier. So what was the advertisement? The advertisement was that if you install this water purifier in your home, you know, water purifiers, we all know about it. There are technologies based on which water purifiers are created. So in that advertisement, the famous cricketer, he says that this water purifier is Wi-Fi enabled. Wi-Fi enabled means this you can link to your home Wi-Fi. Once you link to your home Wi-Fi, see, if you have opened a water purifier, then you find that there are resins. So the resins are consumed over a period of time. They need to be replenished or replaced. So what the advertisement says, that this water purifier will connect to your home Wi-Fi, and whenever the resins in the water purifier go down, it will automatically send an intimation to the nearest service station of the water purifier company, So the service engineer will automatically come, of course, after pre-intimating you, and your system will be, your water purifier will be refilled, replenished, or replaced as the requirement is. Now, this is a good example to understand the concept of integrated and non-integrated system. I've just taken another example. Your vehicle suddenly stops as the fuel is finished. Now the question to you. So the example of water purifier and the vehicle stopping, which of the two is integrated or non-integrated? So what you have to say, that vehicle stops in between because the fuel is empty, and this water purifier sending an intimation to the service department of the company that this water purifier's resin has finished. So which of the two is integrated and which of the two is non-integrated? So what I expect from you is vehicle integrated or non-integrated. So you can say I'll read vehicle integrated, and you can say water purifier. So WP integrated, I non-integrated. Give your answers. Let me see. Now there's a question repeated by Manisha. See, the module that we are all reading through is September 2021 edition, applicable for May and November examination as of now. So if you have any earlier edition, I'll request please upgrade yourself and go for the latest edition. Good. Now, so I'm expecting this answer, integrated, non-integrated. Then one of you had to say that whether this classes is automated. So I think many of you have said, yes, this is a very good example of automation. Then I had put a question on mitigation. Yeah, good. So Mukta is asking, sir, what is mitigate? Good. So you have told, sir, many of you have not started studying accounting standard or auditing standard. Don't worry about it. I always, whatever question I ask, I'll mandatorily clear to you. See, mitigate is to reduce impact of. किसी चीज के प्रभाव को कम करना को मिटिगेट कहते हैं, to reduce impact of. So when I say mitigate means to reduce impact of. So if there is a risk, there is a chance of a loss, a probability of loss, you require some way of reducing that probability. That you call as mitigate. And the point that I wanted you, those few of you I understand must have studied auditing, on few must be going in articleship. In the chat box, please say whether you are, how many of you are doing articleship. So say articleship, yes. Articleship, no. Okay. So that will again give me idea of how the questions I need to frame as we discuss here. Our sessions are going to be absolutely live. Huh? There is nothing like online, offline. We'll be doing lot of discussions. Just ensure that you put all your queries on the chat box. It's always visible to me, right side of my screen. So I'll always answer those questions. So the next thing that you have to tell me is how many of you are doing articleship. Now, coming to the idea of mitigation. So when I say risk mitigate, it basically meant that there is a chance of loss. I do something to reduce that probability of loss, that I say mitigating factor. In your auditing standard, when you, number you can all recall, going concern auditing standard, this concept of mitigation of factors affecting going concern is there. Going concern is a word that you all must have read in your accounting standard 1. In auditing standard also, you have the concept of mitigating factors for going concern issues. So that is what mitigate is all about. Great. Very good. So Jayan has said vehicle is non-integrated, claps, and purchase is integrated. Great. Water purifier integrated. Oh, many of you have answered. Pooja, water purifier integrated. Harshita, water purifier integrated. Great. Muskan, water purifier is integrated. Great. Vehicle non-integrated. So you understand. See, the whole idea is this only, that all of you understand what exactly is the thing that we want to talk about. So all of you have virtually given the correct answer, that water purifier is integrated. Now, what does it tell me? So see, what we need to understand, what is the idea behind this? There's another example on the screen that I did not talk about. That was purchase manager getting an email or SMS when an item's level hits reorder level. Please understand, this is a phenomenal question to learn. I call this question as a storyboard question. Please understand, when I say storyboard, carry this word. When I say storyboard means this 2 line you can use in all chapters together. Understand? Storyboard. Carry this idea. We'll be discussing this. We'll be elaborating this idea to the maximum possible extent. Okay. So purchase manager gets an email. I'll be asking a question on this. Okay. Purchase manager gets an email, SMS from system informing that an important raw material inventory level has touched a reorder level. Now, in costing, you must have read maximum level, minimum level, reorder level. The reorder level means at a level where you must place order for that item. If you don't place order for that item when it reaches reorder level, what happens? So this is a question you need to answer. What will happen if you don't place order for that item when that item hits reorder level? Understand, we are reading technology, and did I talk about technology? I have not talked about technology. We have talked about auditing standard, we have talked about accounting standard, we have talked about costing, and we are talking about technology. Please understand, not a single word in your chapter is theory. Everything is absolutely practical. So the next question I want all of you to answer is that what will happen if the purchase manager does not place order when the system gives an information that this item's level has reached reorder level. Now, why this discussion? This discussion is basically to create the concept in our mind about integrated and non-integrated system. So let us understand the concept. See, all the examples that we have talked about, when I said integrated, in fact, most of you did answer correctly. Maybe with your understanding of things, you said integrated, correct answer. See, please understand, when I say integrated system, it basically means that a situation, a point in system triggers a point in another system, another level, another department, another function, and it's an automated process. So a point in system triggers an action, an auto action in other system that creates integrated. Integrated means the two behave together. This system, suppose this is my purchase system. Here are inventories. The inventory level reaches reorder level. It is going to give information to purchase manager. So it is triggering an action. This triggering of action is what makes systems what is called as integrated system. So that is what integrated systems are, which are joined together, which work together. So a system status triggers action in another system. That is what you call as integrated system. Everyone comments are reaching Afrin, don't worry. Okay. So that is what is integrated system. So Anita says she is doing articleship. Great. Vaibhavi says, no, I'm not doing articleship. Good. Don't worry. So see, those who are doing articleship, they will have practical applications as we go ahead in the session. And those who are going to do articleship later on, they will be at a very good level when you go for actual implementation. So I'll be sharing like this only. Okay. So everyone comments are coming. Please put those comments. Don't worry about it. I'll ensure I'll read all your comments. Great. So integrated, non-integrated. So what links the two? What is the distinction between the two? Integrated is a system is linked to another system. A status of a system triggers action in another system. They work together, integrated manner. Non-integrated, the two systems don't talk to each other. Which is preferred? Integrated, non-integrated, integrated system. Why this concept at the start of the chapter of business process automation? Because see, business process automation, we have talked about that when I am automating a process, that means I already have a process. Now I am automating. So when I automate, what basically I am achieving? When I automate, what I am basically achieving is integration of the various functions. That is what is my core. That is what is my purpose. Great. So Ajay has a good answer. Risk of stock out. Great. So Prakshali Abhay. Yeah, if I read it correctly, please excuse me for pronunciations. I'll do best to read it absolutely correctly. Ajay, stock may be shortage. Yes. Then Kalumari Jay Prakash. Yes. So integrated. Grace. And then many people are doing articles, so that is good. Integrated in Hindi, Sujal. So integrated in Hindi will mean साथ में काम जुड़े हुए, साझा, साथ में काम करते हुए. Sajedar, Jodidar, integrate. Yes, and then see, I've got this concept of e-chocolate, e-credits. So to this question, the first e-credit has to go to Mageshwaram, where he says that you may lose production because of stock out. So that is the biggest loss an entity may suffer because of stock out action not being taken. Now you get the relevance. When you create an integrated system, what happens? The purchase manager will know that this item's level has hit reorder level. So I must place an order. Previously, when the concept was not there, when integration was not there, suppose purchase manager is out for some reason, say he or she is on a business trip or a family trip or a medical emergency, then what would happen? The system, the stock out is there and no one is there to take an action. And believe me, today, you know how the technology is working. Every action, there's a chapter on this. I told you this is a storyboard question for us. The purchase manager gets information on what? His or her mobile, he gets an intimation that this is the item of raw material and its inventory is hitting reorder level. Place the order. Is purchase manager required to open laptop to place a purchase order? Absolutely not. He will do through his or her mobile. What we have done, we have linked this chapter to your chapter 4. What exactly Sukriti madam was doing, she brought all the chapters together to you. So every chapter is linked also. Please understand, it's a phenomenal effort by the institute to bring such an integrated subject to you. Every chapter is linked to one another. So that is the first part, the concept of integrated, non-integrated. Okay, let us go ahead. Then, so how we'll be going? So chapters, the chapter, then summary of the chapter will be every day. We'll find time to refresh, review, revise at the end of the chapter, and then next day when we meet, we'll have a revision of the chapter. There are MCQs which have been given. For today's session, I have given some MCQs. The next 2 sessions of the chapter will be case study based MCQs. Okay, so I'll request you then kindly go through them, and then at the end of the day we'll have recap also. Okay. Automated business process. So we had a good discussion on what exactly is automation, what is the core intent when we talk about automation of business processes. Okay. So let me read through it. The whole PPT is based on the content in the module itself. So you need not worry, everything is there. I did see someone asking whether we need to only refer to what faculties teach. Please understand, what faculties can bring to you is the best part, the understanding, but it will always require some more effort by you. And please keep your eyes, ears open. Please understand, whatever you learn, visualize it happening in life, and then your learning will be great. Yeah, then good. Good. Harshita has tried to build very good on this. That integrated system is where cause effect is created within system. Fantastic. Very good. A very good way of understanding systems. Great. Teja has also said production will be stopped. So good. So see, please understand. Did I tell you what the answers that you have given? More than 90% are correct answers. That means you all know what is being taught about. Did I tell you anything? No. This tells, you know what this tells? This tells that you are all absolutely intelligent. You are capable of getting, our target is 80% or more in the subject. The only thing that what we need to do, that I'll try to help you do, is conceptualize the subject, visualize it happening. Please understand, not a single line in your EIS theory, it is all practical. So when you must visualize it happening. Once you start visualizing, the job is done. In fact, many of you are worried. Someone did ask, answer वैसे लिखना है क्या जैसे मॉड्यूल में लिखे हैं? No need to write the way it is. You have to logically write correctly. When you write logically correct answer, when you understand the topic correctly. Great. Yeah, Faiza, we are getting your comments, Faiza, so you can always comment. Yeah. Okay, so you've got good understanding of integrated, non-integrated, Pooja. Thank you. Ask questions, and don't worry about questions. Ask. I'll ensure all questions are answered during the discussion. I'll link your questions to my discussion, and our board of studies people are doing phenomenal job. Please understand. I always feel that the privilege you have, we as students never had it. See, today, Board of Studies is doing such an effort for all of you as CS students. So much effort is being put into this. As a CS student, when we started 25, 30 years back, it was all doing on one's own like that. Great. So next chocolate has to go to this question by Kalumari Jayaprakash. That is, who updates inventory level? Keep your question pending. I'll answer that question. Great. Now, so learning objective of the chapter, build understanding on the concept of business process, its automation, understand the concept, flow, relationship of internal and automated controls, the risk and controls to reduce those risks, grasp the understanding of the structure and flow of business processes, and the regulatory environment that governs all these business processes. Okay. So this is how your chapter looks like. In fact, because Sukriti madam has already briefed on this, so I'm not repeating this part. That has been very well done by madam. Yeah. So this is the summary of the chapter from the top, how it looks. Okay, now this is important. Please understand, few things are absolutely important. Let me read. Okay, then I think you all answered all the questions, pending questions. Good. In today's connected world, where information flows at the speed of light, success of an organization depends on its ability to respond to fast changing environment. The capability of any organization depends on its ability to take fast decisions. Please understand that the first three lines is today the most critical lines that one can think about, talk about. There is a concept of arithmetic progression and there is a concept of geometric progression. I understand you must have read that by 10th class when you had mathematics. Okay. So if I ask you, we want to understand the idea about fast changing things. When I say technology, so technology changes in AP or GP. Technology changes in arithmetic progression or technology changes in geometric progression. So you can say technology, AP, GP. I'll get the answer. Okay. Now see what is happening. The way technology is evolving. Please understand technology. Today, this is the technology. Laptop, desktop, iPad are not the technology. Today, technology is this one, your chapter 4. You know, you have advertisements of so many, every single day, some companies launching a new mobile. Okay. Why you use mobile? We use mobile to talk to each other. Please tell me, in last 5 years, did you see an advertisement of a mobile company which tells that, let me do this in Hindi, हमारे मोबाइल पर बात अच्छी होती है, ऐसा विज्ञापन आपने देखा है क्या? Did you see an advertisement which says that on our mobile you can talk well? All advertisements are the camera quality is good, the front camera is 16 whatever is the technical parameter, the back camera is this. Now you have combination of 3 cameras and the flashlights and the storage and the RAM capability. No one is talking about that you can use mobile to talk to each other. So that is what is changing. Today the technology is changing too fast, and that is why we need to adopt to technology. So the whole purpose of this chapter being brought to you is to bring that level of awareness to you, how technology is evolving, changing, and it is actually part of our everyday life. The way we live is being decided by the technology itself. So we'll be talking more on that. This one. Okay. The solution is provided by EIS, Enterprise Information System. by collecting data from numerous crucial business processes like manufacturing, production, finance, accounting, sales, marketing, HR, storing the data in single data repository. Please understand, our technical word has been used, central data repository. Central data repository means that a location where all data is kept together. Sources may be different. Finance, accounts, sale, purchase, external sources, internal sources. All data is stored in single central data repository. I want you to think. I am asking another question. Suppose I am a fast moving consumer goods company. I am selling some fast moving consumer product. My turnover is huge. I'm a very big fast moving consumer goods company. You can imagine any of India's big corporates. Suppose a customer, he or she has to give a feedback on company product. Please understand the question. I am a fast moving consumer goods company. A customer is going to give feedback on the product of the company. Tell me the number of ways I can give feedback goods company. I am selling products. You tell me what are the types, location, nature by which a consumer can give feedback. Once you answer this question, I'll tell you the concept of central data repository. Okay. So yes, many of you have said correctly, technologies, geometric progression. Now, geometric progression is, it works like this. It is arithmetic is 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 2 is 6. So it goes by the mathematical operand in arithmetic progression is generally addition. But the mathematical operand in geometric progression is multiplication. So 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6. But 2 into 2 into 2 is 8. So that the technology evolves in GP. Because what happened? The first computer was made by human, but the second computer was made by computer. So because technology is developing the next technology, the data analytics, AI, and all those words you hear. So technology evolves very fast. It is going at the speed of geometric progression. That is why when technology evolves so fast, you have to adopt to technology in that fast mode. That is how it is. Good. So we have this question. Mukta, how water? Yes, Mukta, water purifier is integrated because your resins have gone down and it has intimated the service department of the company. So one system is informing other system to take further action. That is integrated. Yeah. So now just see. Now I need to read your answers. Yes. So Anita says. So I said 1. E-merchant. Anita says feedback form. SMS, questionnaires, email, customer care, website, message, and then Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, Quora. You're all there. Imagine. So if I'm a fast moving consumer goods company, you know what I have to do? I have to keep track of all possible social media networks where customers can give feedback. Toll-free number, yes. Consumer feedbacks websites, yes. Very good, Shruti. Then Yogita says, company directly make a phone call. Your product was not good. Yes, you can do it. Imagine now imagine the company. So what is happening? The data sources are multiple, internal, external, from all across the world, globe. And you need to bring all that data together. So when you bring all this information together, you talk about the word on the website, single central data repository. So if management has to take action based on consumer feedback, it is going to refer to the consumer feedback central repository. That is what is central data repository. Data from all location sources is brought to a single location. That's again, this word is important. It is going to come again in the chapters. Keep this word with you, central data repository. Okay. Yes, good. So all social media platforms, fantastic. Now, enterprise information system. It's a single word. There are three words. First is enterprise, second is information, third is system. So let us break and try to understand. So what is a system? System is a set of activities undertaken to achieve a common goal. Great. What is information? Information is that triggers decision. Enterprise information system. A system that triggers decision for all the activities that are being undertaken. So EIS is like a global decision-making platform. It allows the top management to see how enterprise is working. And if you want to see globally how the enterprise is working, what nature of business process you need to create? Integrated business processes. That is what EIS is about. Okay, so let us try to understand it again. So see, whatever is written is for you to read. We are trying to understand. Enterprise information system. System, a set of activities to achieve common goal. Information that triggers decision, that triggers management action. Enterprise information system, a system for the whole enterprise to create decision triggering information set. That is what you call as EIS. Okay. Yeah. So please understand, see, whatever sometimes you as student, I'm just having water. कभी कभी बच्चे ऐसा पूछते हैं कि सर इसको याद कैसे रखें. Many times you as student ask how to recall. Believe me, no need to recall. याद रखने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. Just keep a tag of the examples that we are going to share. Believe me, not a single example is theory. Till we have been talking till 45 minutes. Did I give an example that was theory? Did I give an example that was not from real life situation? No, impossible. That is, create an interest. I'll tell you, just allow me to have this water. Students, a break for exam. Okay. So students tell, sir, how to get marks? Number aate nahi hai. I'll tell you why number don't come. Then you'll understand. See, the subject that we are studying, so we are going to have 6 chapters, and 6 chapters we have 3 days, or 5 chapters, 3 days for each chapter. So that is 3 into 5, 15, 2.5 hours for each day. So 2.5 hours into 15. So that is 30, and then 0.5. So roughly 38 hours you are going to expend for this EIS, 38 hours. Board of Studies, live video class. Believe me, be truthful. Ours is a confession box. We can always say the truth. So suppose this live video class is 40 hours. Live video class is 40 hours. In the chat, be truthful. अपने को सत्य कहना है. यह बताएं कि इन 40 घंटों के अलावा इस सब्जेक्ट को आप अलग से कितने घंटे रोज देंगे. बस इतना ऐसे चैट बॉक्स में लिख देना कि या रोज मत दो, एग्जाम के पहले कितने घंटे और पढ़ोगे. How many hours you are going to study the subject other than this 40 hours before your exam. Be truthful. Ours is a confession box because I want you to realize the truth. What is the gap that is there? Okay. So let us see the next slide. So please keep your answers coming to the questions I have put. Then, an EIS provides a technology platform that enables organizations to integrate, coordinate their business processes on a robust foundation. So see, there are few inherent assumptions. When you say EIS, it says it's a technology. So please understand, whenever you imagine EIS now, it has to be a technology-driven process. So technology has to be the enabler. On the base, then you create a EIS system. Most of you have said the truth, huh? So let me read. I'm not reading the name, huh? Don't worry. So, so one says 20 hours, 20 hours, a week. Okay, so I'll accept that. 8 hours. Yes. This, yeah. So someone, I'll think, see, being truthful is the best thing, best policy we can have for our life. So you got it. So, and just compare it to, just compare it to other classes. You know, those subjects you call practical, costing, accounts, taxation, like that. And then 200 hours and 500 hours and 600 hours before exam. And to this subject, only 40 hours of the class. And if you make huge effort, then add 40 more. Believe me, to the 40 of the institute, you add 80. So 40 plus 80 is 120. Our score is 80% plus. Done. The job is done. Yes, so you have been very truthful. Good. See, writing the truth always helps. Yeah, I have not changed the slide. Good. Now, what is robust technology? Robust technology is the one which has capability to adapting to change, first. Second, it has capability to respond to new requests by decision. Please understand, EIS is what? It is going to trigger a system which is going to generate information for the decision makers. So it can be top management, middle, lower level management, whatever the case may be. When I say robust, so robustness means my capability as a system to adapt to changes. Robustness means my capability to respond to requests for additional information. That is what is robust technology. Yeah, Tanishka, your message is there. Thank you. Okay, let us go to the next slide. Now, because so it is in my clock, it is 17:18. So do we take a 10 minutes break till 70? So a 10 minutes break, we will rejoin at 7:30. So 7:30 p.m. we will rejoin. We are having a break. Okay, so welcome back after the break. Let us start where we left. So I got your comments. So Karthik says, sir, 79 घंटे चलेगा क्या 80 नहीं है तो चलेगा चलेगा. Good. Okay. Riti, good. So don't worry. So we're going to be more practical application. Good. Now, so let us go to this one, enterprise business processes. Second part. Now, what exactly is business process? Yeah, one of you asked the question, a difference between repository and depository. So I have not answered the question. It is part of the word we will be talking about. Okay, let me tell so that the idea is clear. See, repository and depository are two distinct words. They have legal meaning to it. But just to keep your question at bay, I am answering that right now. See, depositories like NSDL, CDSL, these are share depositories, security depositories. So me as an individual, I go and deposit my shares. Depository, I go and deposit. Repositories are you take it by right. That is repository. Like, for example, the example we took about this, the whole company, all sources of information, whatever feedback it gets. So company by right accumulates at a central location. That becomes repository. Deposited, I go willingly and deposit to you. So that is a difference, but it's a good question to get answer to because these two words have legal definitions to them. One word we are going to talk about as we go ahead as a part of Information Technology Act discussion. So I'll be sharing the technical word then also. Okay. Yeah, Jaspreet, your queries are coming. Okay. Now, enterprise business process. Our business process is an activity or set of activity that will accomplish a specific organizational goal. So we talked about that. Business processes are designed as per vision and mission of top management. This is very important. Please carry this word. This line links you to paper 7B of this strategic management, vision and mission. Business processes are reflection of entities' management thought process. The success or failure of an organization is dependent on how meticulously means how painfully, how carefully, how accurately, how correctly, how finely business process have been designed and implemented. This is very, very, very important. Business process. Now, please understand, because this word is going to come again and again, what is exactly a business process? So, for sake of ease, please understand, business process is the way I do my business. That is my business process. Say, for example, try to answer this question. This question, answer to this question is part of the EIS syllabus also. All the e-merchants, for example, Amazon, Flipkart, Snapdeal, Myntra, Jabong, they have got something concept of a payment gateway. What is payment gateway? The way the buyer makes payment on these online platforms. So I'm asking this question, which payment gateway is the most used? When I say which payment gateway is most used, I want you to select from these options. I'm giving you the option because topic we have not discussed right now. It is part of chapter 5 when you go to core banking system. The payment gateway you have to select is debit card or credit card, or say these online platforms have got their own, like Flipkart Coin, Amazon Pay. So they've got this their own payment wallet or third-party wallet like Paytm, PhonePe. Then you can pay through cash on delivery also. So you have to tell me which payment gateway is most selected when customer buy the products online. What are the options? Debit card, credit card, net banking, the merchant's own payment wallet, a third-party payment wallet, or cash on delivery. Answer the question. Once we get the answer, I'll tell you what exactly business process the word is. because this word is very, very, very important for understanding the core ideas as in the chapter itself. Then, business process management helps an organization achieve the 3E. The 3E are economies, effectiveness, efficiency, and economy of business operations. So you create proper management of your business process to achieve the 3Es. Business process management is a systematic approach to improving these processes. इन तीनों को सुधारने की जो प्रक्रिया है, that is basically business process management. Business process management is an all-round activity working on 24/7 basis. This is very, very, very important to ensure improvement in all parameters all the time. So whatever you're doing, every time what you do, you improve your processes there and then. That is what is business process management. Yeah, so I've started getting the answer. Good. So someone says Razorpay, UPI, ICICI Payment Gateway, UPI, COD, cash on delivery, Paytm, PhonePe, net banking, Paytm or cash on delivery, online payments. So I'll take net banking, credit cards, online platform, third-party platforms, PhonePe, Paytm, PhonePe, COD, third-party platform, cash on delivery, third-party wallet like Google Pay, PhonePe, Paytm, Razorpay, net banking, GPay, Paytm, Amazon wallets, credit card payments, online payments, UPI, Google, UPI, debit card, bill desk, debit credit card, UPI, COD, cash on delivery, third party, debit card, UPI, Paytm. Yeah. So you have answered all what it tells. Now please understand the way the merchant accepts payment. It has to define the business process for accepting that payment. So credit card, debit card, online, UPI, Razorpay, wallets, they are prepayment because you get the payment before the product is delivered. But cash on delivery is post-delivery. That means when you have a process where payment will come after delivery of goods, so you require some more controls because the delivery guy is going to collect cash and there are thousands of delivery boys who are going to collect cash. So centralized mechanism of collecting that cash, depositing the cash in the bank account, that is business process. The way I do my business, that is what we call as business process. When you say business process management, so each business process has associated risk. To keep it short, of all the payment methodologies you have said, which is the most risky for the merchant, that is cash on delivery. So then he or she or the merchant requires more controls. That is what you call as business process management. So based on the process, based on the risk associated, you create controls, you create management. What is the objective of the management? 3C's as 3E as in the slide: effectiveness, efficiency, economy. That is what you need to achieve. Banking. Yeah, I'm getting names. So please no need to put name in the answer. It is visible. Yes, Sabjiwala, I just read a report that the level of digitization we have in our country post-COVID, post-demonetization, it is not there in big developed economies also. Today, Sabji wala, vendor, grocery store seller, your pan wala, your pani puri wala, you must be enjoying those. Then you go to Surat, so there is a Dumas Beach, Laria Bhaji wala, Masala Chowk in Jaipur, Kolkata, you go to J2C, then in Bangalore, you go to Kesidas. So all across India, there are so many eating joints and you go there and all those eating joints accept payment on digital mode. So that is what is there. Business process management. Next, this is very important. Keep a tag of this flowchart. It is from the module Enterprise Business Process Model. What are the components of it and what are the key words? They're coming, Gauravansh. Notebook. Coming. Yeah. Vision, strategy, business management. So vision strategies are what top management think about, how they want to go ahead, what is the target, what we want to achieve, what is the business target. That is vision. Then business planning, so you need to put that vision into action. So it could be mergers, acquisition. In the last, on the vision, governance and compliance, this has become a very, very important word. Next is operational process, including developing of the products, services, marketing, delivering, managing customer services, and then management support services that includes HR management, technology management, financial, facilities management, legal regulatory compliances, external relationship management, knowledge improvement, and change management. So this is how organizations evolve, and this is how they need to respond to. So yeah, I've brought a case to you, vision and mission. So one of the largest Indian conglomerate some 2 decades ago decided to be in those businesses by next 15 years, in which they can be within the top 5 companies in the world. So that is a vision mission the company, the top management created. Then what they did to implement it, the group did all this in the next 15 years. It's on the screen, I'm not reading it. So a vision is created, an implementation mechanism is created, and see the output of it. So this is how things happen. This is how things go. Okay, next. Categories of business process. So categories include all operational processes, supporting processes, and management processes. Okay. Now, so do give an update on the quality. Yeah. Let us repeat categories of business processes: operational process, supporting process, and management processes. Operational and primary processes deal with core business and value chain. These processes deliver value to customer by helping to produce the value chain, products and services. Operational processes represent essential business activities that accomplish the core business objectives, say for example, order to cash, purchase to pay, like that. Supporting processes are back-end processes and functions within organizations. Examples of supporting processes include accounting, human resource management, and workplace safety. One key differentiator between operational and support process is that support process do not provide value to customers directly. In fact, that is the reason that sometimes the accounting is referred to as a support process. So it doesn't have a direct interaction with the front-end customers. However, it should be noted that hiring the right people for the right job has the direct impact on the efficiency of the enterprise. Yes. So operational process, support process, and management process. It measures, monitors, controls activity related to business procedures. Examples of management process includes internal communication, governance, strategic planning, budgeting infrastructure, capacity management. Yes, I have got a good case on this. I'll share that with you. Like supporting process, management process do not provide value directly to customers.
However, it has a direct impact on the efficiency and the growth of the enterprise. The question that I have for you is, how many registered mobile numbers in India today? How many registered mobile numbers in India today? Put a figure. Then let me read. Once I get an answer, we'll discuss that. Okay. So a flowchart is given. So you have a vision, a strategic plan, converted to business goal, converted to revenue projections, cost projections, profit projections, board approval, and budget review. In fact, those of you who have done standard costing in costing, you will know how it is built. From total cost variance, you go down like this. So this is how you create a management structure. So I expect an answer. How many registered mobile numbers? Then there's a query on P2P. I'll explain that, Himanshu. Okay, don't worry. Yeah. Okay, so let me explain Himanshu's query on P2P. P2P is procure to pay. So it is basically a cycle. It starts with, suppose I'm the purchase manager. I get that SMS that I have to buy raw materials. So I place order with my vendor, or I give a purchase order to the vendor. The purchase order goes to the vendor. Vendor supplies. I create a material receipt note and make a payment. So this procure to pay is a cycle, basically purchase cycle, you can say. Yeah. So someone's, yeah. So let us say Saipa Virali. Yeah. Virali Saipa. Okay. 100 crores. Magheshwaran also has a good number. 138 crores. So that is the nearest. It is always changing. The best number is 115 crores. 115 crore. Now please understand, if there are 115 crore registered mobile numbers, you know, it consumes all 10 digits. When you write 100 crore, all 10 digits are consumer of the mobile number. That must not happen any day. So I don't see a day far when your mobile number may be 11 digit. Now please understand, initially when mobiles were 20-25 years back, when mobile were brought to India, so by the series we knew 94250 was BSNL, 98930 was Airtel, 98260 was Idea in my locality. So by the mobile number, you will know the operator. Now your mobile number portability, that is gone. And now your mobile number like 079. 079 is a mobile number with these 3 starting digits. So that's a STD code for Ahmedabad. 080 is a STD code for Bengaluru. So what has happened is, so much growth has been there in mobile registration that the regulators are thinking whether to have 11 digits for mobile number. So we already, now we cannot remember mobile numbers. We have to dial it from the dial pad. And if there is an 11 digit, so it is going to be huge. That is what you call as capacity management. Increasing, having so much workspace that additional people can be brought in, additional manufacturing can be done. That is capacity management. That is how you look at businesses. Yeah. So you all realize that. Okay, good. Then, so we talked the introduction, now automating. So before we go to the chapter, before we go to this part of the chapter, I want you to answer one question. See, March, I understand that we all have been vaccinated. We all had our 2 vaccine doses. So, and I think that is we have been like a lucky lot from the world. We did have waves of COVID. Few were very, very dangerous also. But looking at it overall, we all have got our both vaccine doses. Now, since the first lockdown, we are virtually having the second year of that lockdown, 23rd or 24th of March 2020. What I want you to tell me, since that day till today, you have seen many local businesses in and around your locality, where you study, where you work, where you reside, where you are doing your articleship. Just give a thought to it, and you will find that many people have adopted, many small businesses have adopted technology to do their business. One answer you have all given, so don't repeat that answer. That is, they have adopted to digital payment. So that is done. Okay, that is a good answer. But I want you to think beyond accepting digital payments. Think which businesses have adopted technology and evolved. Our time frame starts from March 2020, ends March 2022, 2 years. Just give a thought, try to answer it. Today, so give it a thought. Answer. Businesses, which business you have found which have been automating themselves. Now, today technology innovations are increasing day by day. Technology is becoming easily available. Cost of accessing and using technology is going down. Internet connectivity in terms of speed, geographical spread is increasing day by day. Yes, in fact, whichever town, city we all live in, if you imagine yourself last 5 years, you find that the availability of internet is improved. There is always a scope for betterment, but yes, it has improved. In fact, those of you, I realize that now things are getting back to normal, but we must not miss the COVID protocols. Beyond that, many of you have studied online, attended articleship online, work from home, studied our board of studies, live virtual classes online. So when you are studying online, one of the key requirement is availability of internet, good internet access. That is increasing day by day. So as accessibility to internet increases, so the capability of the automation process that you do is enhanced. All these factors have had profound impact on the business process being used by the entity. So automation level is increased like this. Let us see your answers. Yes, good. So now, small business, e-commerce, online classes, great. Yes, Aishwaryam, it is both for it is both for answer and question. Yes. Groceries, home delivery, fantastic. Automobile, WhatsApp group, okay. Online sales, home delivery, yes. Education, online education, home delivery for orders placed online. Then digital marketing, online education, online counseling, e-commerce, delivery system by a small chemist. Very good. This big fast food giants delivering home. Education institute taking online orders and home deliveries. Door delivery, yeah. Small hotels collaborating with food delivery merchants, yes. Online coaching has developed much. Good. Online orders, helping children to register for exam online, yes. Institute, very good. That is Prabhas, very good. Rajiv, yeah. Then fast food joints, yes. Every small business is getting themselves online. Digital payments, food centers, schools, telecom services, web portals. Oh, Jasprit says I passed through online classes. Great. Home delivery, online delivery. Yeah, great. All this is automated business process. Do you require a separate example? You all know tens of such examples that you can write. Now, what you do? So that question is going to come. Just see now, because you know that these people have automated their business. They have started online. I'll just share one example from my hometown. That is going to create again a storyboard example. So the town that I come from, our town is very famous for this snacks, namkeen. So we have big sellers, means exporters in our town. So this one of the big snack seller in May 2020, what he did, he created a simple Google form. I think we all know Google form. And WhatsApp group, because that was a very tough lockdown. It was first lockdown. It was reasonably safe because people were so afraid. We never knew what the virus is. So we were all in home delivery. So what this person did, the owner of the snack company, simple Google form, allowed it to be circulated across the city. You place the order, they receive the order, they send you the bill on WhatsApp along with the QR code to make the payment. You make the payment, they send you an acknowledgement on WhatsApp, and within 12 hours, 24 hours, the product is delivered. Believe me, in that 1 month, the snack seller did a business that was more than its 1 year turnover. As this snack seller did so huge, the communication, grapevine communication, you must be knowing from the other part of chapter 7b, subject 7b, strategic management. It percolated down to other grocery snack sellers in the town, and they came with their own app and all that. That is the first 3 words of this slide: technology innovation. Simple thing he did, but timely did, innovated. And read the last line: profound impact. 12 in 1 month they sold products that was equal to 1 year sale. Imagine, that is what automation is going to have impact on your business. So none of you need to be told. Suppose a question comes in examination, benefits of automated business process. I don't think you need to read from the module. You will know much more than what is probably written there. That is what is the approach to this whole paper I want you all to have. Have absolute practical visualization of every single word that you read from the module. And the 80% score is done. Someone says online cake business. Yes, I'll accept that. Okay, I'll do best. So during this classes, I have been, Board of Studies always takes that session, but 1 minute, 2 minutes, we'll find time to fine tune our examination attempt. We'll do that. Yeah, I've been to that Coimbatore. Yes, yes. I had I missed that restaurant where I had my lunch. Okay. This is again important slide. So when I say important, please understand important is you need to remember, find ways to recall. Okay, let us see. The success of any business automation shall only be achieved when business process automation ensures the following. What are the following? Confidentiality. I'll read the headers and then explain. Confidentiality, integrity, availability, timeliness. Confidentiality means to ensure data is available to person who have right to access. Integrity is to ensure no unauthorized amendments can be made. Availability is to ensure data is available when asked for. And timeliness, it must be available at the right time. In fact, the example that I gave you of the snack seller, the success it achieved was basically due to the last part of this 4 words, timeliness. He was the first mover in my hometown. So confidentiality, integrity, availability, timeliness. 4 factors that will ensure that the success of business process automation is there. Confidentiality, integrity, availability, and timeliness. They need to be put in place correctly at the right time, right location. Benefits. Now, benefits, this slide is done. You know from your own self. So, see, this is how I want you to remember it. Benefits of business process automation. Quality, consistency. I'll read the headers and then we'll read this explanation. So, we want 2 levels. Okay. Quality, consistency. Time saving, visibility. I'll read the headers and come back to the slides again. Improved operational efficiency, governance, reliability, reduced turnaround times, reduced cost. Okay. Benefits of automating business, processes. That is what exactly we are looking at. Now, let us read one by one again. Now, let us do the exercise for examination. Okay. So, suppose this question comes, benefits of automating business process. There are, say, 7 benefits. I only want all of you to write in the chat your para 1 of answer in examination. Please understand, it's a 4 marks, 6 marks question in exam. Benefits of automating business process. You are writing question in examination, giving answer to the question. I want you to tell the para 1 of your answer in examination. Write into the chat P1. Just this will be my para 1. 4 words, that will do. Let me read. Benefits of automating business process. Now, because you already have so many examples, you know it. Did I tell you? No, you all knew it correctly. When you write these answers, link these answers with your examples. The job is done. Quality consistency ensures that every action is performed identically, resulting in high quality, reliable result, and stakeholder will consistently experience the same level of service. There is a word that we all know, GIGO, garbage in, garbage out. So your output quality is determined by your input quality. So when you automate business, you are going to basically work on whose quality input. So when your input quality will be good, it will ensure consistent quality of output. Next, time saving. Automation reduces the number of the tasks of the employee. It frees the time of workers and allows them to do better job, allows them to innovate. Visibility. This is very important. Automating the business process allows visibility. Visibility means what is happening, what is not happening, where someone is working, where someone is not working. I read somewhere, you can note this. What gets measured gets done. What gets measured gets done. If I can measure non-compliance, I can ensure compliance. But if I cannot measure non-compliance, I have nothing to ensure. That is visibility. So when you have automation, you know who is working, who is not working. Improved operational efficiency. Automation reduces the time it takes to achieve a task, effort required to undertake it, and cost of completing it successfully. Automation not only ensures system runs smoothly and efficiently, but that errors are eliminated and your best practices are improved. Best practices is best way of doing one thing. So when you automate, it allows you to improve your best practice performance parameter. Governance and reliability. The consistency of the automated process means stakeholder can rely on business process to operate and offer reliable processes to customer, maintaining a competitive advantage. Now that online order, that snack seller, and the examples you have talked about, the owner of the company must be getting that data online, and then when the payments are received and when the deliveries are made, so the payment, the owner of the company must be checking on the dashboard how business is going, how performance is there. When you automate, you can track performance. Reduce turnaround time. Turnaround time is to redo the job again. Eliminate unnecessary tasks. Realign process steps to optimize flow of information through production, serving, billing, and collection. The example I gave you. This adjustment of process distills operational performance means improves and reduces turnaround time. Turnaround time is the time taken to do the same job again. So you do it faster and cost is saved. Just you can add the example I gave you of the snack seller, because now that person is receiving orders from all across the cities and he has a timeline for 24 hours delivery. You know what happens? The snack seller can always plan his or her or its production based on the orders received. Imagine. That is what, so you can plan your production based on all this that is happening. That is going to improve your efficiency, business economy efficiency to any scale like that. Yes, Menon, Meman Rafiq Bhai, if I pronounced correctly. Yes, add. So now let me get your para one, and then I'll tell, because someone has asked about examination, I'll answer that. Good. So see, just carry this. Whenever you have a question in examination, like benefits of automating business process. So your para one has to define what is automatic business process. Even if it is a subjective question, whatever marks it carries, please add those two extra lines. Para one, define it, and then start writing it. So your para one has to be definition of any technical word in the question. Para two has to be the core content. And now someone asked, can we add? Yes, please add. Add your para three. Give these live examples. We are not sitting on Mars. We are sitting on Earth. Everything that is happening around you is automating. Please give those examples. Tell it. Once you start giving examples, your own concepts will be clear. And when you write along with examples in examination, we all are worried. हमको ये चिंता होती है कि परीक्षा में लिखना कैसे है. We are worried how to write and what to write. Believe me, when you start adding this word along with live examples, your worries of how and what will be killed up. You'll be doing phenomenally well. That is what is needed. Yes. So Jaspreet said correctly, and many of you have said correctly. First define definition and then start answering. That is exactly what is needed from all of us. Must do in this manner only. This is what is needed. Okay, let us go ahead. You can do it. Next question is, which process should be automated? आपने इतने example दिए ना? See, you know what you do? In all the examples you have given, multiply your answers with why. Why that person automated? Once you start multiplying your answers of the processes which you have found have been automated with why, that will generate the answer to the slide that is there. Which process should be automated? You'll directly get the answer. So it's done. You just read. Let me have a sip of water. Please give your own live examples. The only one requirement is your example, whatever you give your example, ensure they are logically correctly read. That is the only thing needed. Believe me, it is going to add value, quality to your answer. Yes, not today, but for tomorrow's and not tomorrow, means the next session for chapter 1 and the last one. For that, I have already created this case study based questions. I'll give you those questions and allow you to answer. So, Akshobhya, if I have answered your query. Yeah. Yes, I. So when I say automation, it basically means using technology. So automation means doing it through technology. That is, yeah, it's a basic point. In examination, write in your words. The only thing is it has to be logically correct. समझने योग्य जवाब लिखे, जो पढ़ने में आप जो प्रश्न है उसका सही उत्तर दे, ऐसा आपको करना है. और इस जवाब को आप एक उदाहरण के साथ लिखेंगे तो आपके जवाब की गुणवत्ता बहुत अच्छी बनेगी. Always write with live examples the way we are talking about. So always add para 3, give those live examples. What will happen? Say in the previous question, there were 7 points. If you add para 3, like the snack center I talked about, or the example you have, when you give that example, you will be able to directly relate to at least 3-4 points from the 7. Your job is done. You will do a phenomenally good job. That is. Okay. Now, so which process should be automated? Those processes which involve high, voluminous and repetitive tasks. Yes. In fact, on the first line, I am giving you a word that is part of your syllabus. A word called as AI. AI is artificial intelligence. Just carry the word. AI technology is being used to do the first thing. Okay. All repetitive tasks are being automated through use of AI technology. I'll give you live example. Don't worry. Then, where multiple people. So what is being done? Because see, tour is human. So when more people work on one job, the chances of error are high. Like too many cooks spoil the broth. We have read that saying in English. बहुत सारे रसोइये खाने को खराब कर देते हैं. So we want unity of command. So what unity of execution is being built through use of technology. Then where processes have to be done timely. The example of that snack seller. The example of the purchase manager who gets an SMS or an email on his or her mobile that this raw materials item is hitting reordering. Time sensitive process. This you go for automation. See, every line is linked. Huh? Process involving need for compliance and audit trail. Believe me, by the time you are in CA final, this is going to be the one of the most talked about topic, audit trail. In fact, today, 1st April 2022, government had planned to make all corporates use an accounting software where audit trail is there. The audit trail cannot be tampered with, but that notification has been deferred till the next year, 1st April 2023. Carry this word, put all heart, head into audit trail. इस ऑडिट ट्रेल शब्द को लिख कर रखना, जिस भी सब्जेक्ट में जितना भी पढ़ सको उतना पढ़ना. एक साल में ये बहुत बड़ा हो जाने वाला है. टेक माय वर्ड फॉर. And last is processes having significant impact on other processes and systems, those which are linked to other. So you automate so that they become integrated. You bring all this together. Okay. Then, challenges involved in business process automation. Yeah, so it is there. Like, there's some queries. So once I complete this one, then I'll go back to the queries. Okay, Mukta, I've read the query. Automating redundant processes. Redundant means repetitive processes. Those. So these create toughness of implementation. Someone did ask, like, this is basically continuation of the previous question. Which process to automate? So you list down this 10 process I want to automate. But then when you start automating, you find challenges. So you need to overcome challenges. Suppose I ask you just like that. You find that a process to automate a process is a big challenge. So will you not automate? No, because benefits will outdo the reason for automating. So because benefits will be much, much higher, always go for automation. Automating redundant process. Redundant means not repetitive processes. Then, so this create challenges. This we need to overcome. This may make automation slightly tough, but we'll go for it. Defining complex processes. The integration, the linkages is very tough. Still go for automation. Staff resistance. This is always going to be there. This is basically coming from 7B. Resistance to change. I think, see, beyond this syllabus, academics has to be, you must study a lot. हमको बहुत पढ़ाई करना है, इंस्टीट्यूट के मॉड्यूल भी पढ़ना है, इसके अलावा कुछ अच्छी किताबें पढ़ना चाहिए. उसमें से एक बहुत अच्छी किताब है जो you must all read. I read it every year, once every year since last 20 years I am doing it. Who Moved My Cheese by Spencer Johnson. Who Moved My Cheese. It's a phenomenal, there are good books I'll be sharing which create an idea about things. So that is basically anticipating change and responding to change. So wherever you want to create new system, staff resistance will always be there. Even with the resistance, will you not go for change? No, we will go for change. And cost, it's basically ROI, we'll be talking about it. Return on investment. We'll implement, we'll calculate ROI. What is the cost of implementing? What is the benefit? And believe me, good automation always leads to the benefits are multiple times. Okay, that is how it is. Next is important. Okay, so before we go, there are queries. So I will come to this later on. Let us answer the queries first. Okay, so let us go down to up. Last in, first out. LIFO. Implementation cost, Mukta. So see, implementation cost is what? The total cost needed to create business automation. Like take example of that snack seller. So he must have hired a programmer. That programmer must have designed the Google form. So what is the cost? The payment made to the programmer. Then when the form is designed, so probably they must have subscribed to some technology, maybe Google paid account. That is a cost. So implementation cost is cost to create the automation process. That is. Then audit trail. Yes, good. That question is a needed question. More than two of you have asked it. Audit trail is basically that links the object to the subject. The source to the result is linked. Like, for example, let me do very simply. As an auditor, when you do scrutiny, means checking of the ledgers, so you are looking at balance sheet, comparative balance sheet of current year to previous year. You find that salary expenditure is very high compared to previous year. So then you start digging in. So then when you see the consolidated salary figure high in comparison to previous year, you ask for the salary ledger. So you get the salary ledger. You find that during a specific month, the payment is very high. Then you want to check it again. So then you find, oh, it was basically a gratuity paid to an employee debited to salary account. That is why the salary payment is looking high. So what you're doing, digging in, auditing, checking the source of the transaction. So when you start checking the source of the transaction, this link is called as audit trail. That is audit trail. Google Alexa, yeah, Google Alexa, AI, this Apple Siri are examples of AI. Very good. Then Mukta wants third and fourth point of the previous one. Let me go there. Visibility. Visibility means, see, when you automate a process, so any non-compliance is there visible. You can take action on that. When visibility is there, you take action. It improves efficiency, effectiveness. That is how this third and fourth are linked. Okay. Any more questions that we have not answered? Yeah, see, implement. That is the next slide. So that is answer. Akshobhaya, your question will be answered in this slide. But good. Okay, Himanshu, who moved my cheese? Who moved my cheese? By Spencer Johnson. I'll be sharing more. They are good books to must read. See, the book is going to be one of the best friends you are going to have. Get into habit of reading good books. Okay. Yeah, Neha, it creates opportunities. So it's a flip side, automation and employment, but larger opportunities are being created. In fact, the growth is phenomenal. Okay. So, which process to automate? Time sensitive. So let us do it again. There is a query. Which processes should be automated? So those processes which have high voluminous repetitive tasks, process requiring multiple people. Time sensitive means those processes which have to be done timely at the right time. If you delay, you miss. Processes that require good compliance and audit trail. Okay, Mukta has asked that question. So we'll be discussing this in more detail as we go ahead. So I'm keeping it restricted right now. Audit trail, I have told you. Compliance will be talking more later on. So those which are compliance oriented process, you prefer automation so that you don't do errors and processes that have significant impact on other processes and system. Okay, let us go ahead. Now, business process automation implementation. So these are the steps. Now see what I want. Will not do this theory. This will do practical. So what you will be doing, what I expect, you all have given example that some business at your location has automated. Even if that business was not local, like coaching classes, it could be all India scenario, you know that process has been automated. Our institutes, live video class, the process has been automated. Now, what I want, 8 steps are given. What you do, take this as a case. Okay. And suppose like the snack seller example I gave, that person automated a process. You know, a grocery store automated. Someone told a medical shop automated. Someone told the local vegetable vendor automated. Someone told an educational institute automated. Imagine that person. Okay. And then do these steps. So what I'll do, I'll read the steps later on. We'll do it practically first. Allow you to write the steps. Don't worry if you are not able to complete all the 8 steps. What you try to do, suppose like grocery seller. So you say step, you have to answer in the chat, slightly long answer. Grocery seller, step 1, step 2, step 3. Let me do my snack seller, then we'll read it. Okay. Define why we plan to implement a business process automation. So my snack seller, the one who did it in my hometown. Why? So I'm giving you the reasons. There is lockdown. No one is going out, but they need bread, they need buns, they need local groceries, they need snacks, they need toast, they need biscuits, cookies. Why? So why we need to plan? Because there is a lockdown. People need delivery of products. Understand the rules, regulations under which the enterprise needs to comply with. Yes. If you recall, all people were under lockdown. Government allowed essential product stores to be open. So this snack seller got a license from government to allow their delivery van, their delivery e-card to travel in the city and deliver. Licensing. Okay. Document the process they wish to automate. So my snack seller, what process they automated? The basic process they automated was customer order collection. So what they created? They automated customer order collection process. Define the objective goals to be achieved by implementing the automation. What core objective was? The customer must be able to make online order placement of necessary groceries. जो जरूरत की सामान है उसका ऑनलाइन ऑर्डर देते आना चाहिए. Then step 5, engage a business process consultant. So this snack seller must have engaged some intelligent person. He must have paid some fees to that person. That will become cost of one of the element of cost. Someone asked about the implementation cost. So this fees paid by the snack seller to the business process consultant becomes the cost. Okay. Now, so I'm incurring cost. What is my ROI? Believe me, the ROI would be have been, means just believe me, what I'll be saying is truth. The ROI for this project, for that snack seller, would have not more than 7 days orders. 7 दिनों में पैसे वापस आ गए होंगे उसको. इतना धंधा किया. So much business they did. But You have to calculate the ROI before you go for it. Return on investment. What is my investment? My cost. What is my cost? Paid to the business process consultant. I must have bought a special system, some server space, some Google payments, all this part of my cost. Once done, when you see ROI is positive, develop the business process automation. Once developed, test it. Once tested, implement. Job is done. Do you need to remember anything theory on this? Nothing. Let us see what you have given as answer. Okay. So Milton has a question. No, Milton, please don't ask. See, whichever city, town you live, one business has automated itself. Imagine that business. And then that automation build on these steps. The job is done. That is. Great, Himanshu. I'll be with you. Okay. So got it. So this is how we need to look to this whole chapter, whole subject. Let us go to the next slide. Steps. Yeah. Now, because there was a very special session by Board of Study today, so I have been permitted to extend the class 10-15 minutes from the regular schedule each of the 3 days so that we can make up for the additional time. So I think we are all ready for extension. Okay, thank you. Define. Step 1. Define why we plan to implement a business process automation. So that was the reason I did not read the steps and allowed you to visualize. So see, my core idea is that whatever we study, our visualization has to be perfect. This is exactly what is going on. Once you visualize it, you will do it. Okay. Okay, so few of you have given the steps. Once I complete the steps from the slides, then I'll read your steps. Thank you. First, business process automation implementation. Define why we. So why we? Now the errors. Paying for, it's a risk. You are paying for goods not delivered, not being able to find documents quickly during audit, unable to. So this can be reasons. So see, if you read the reasons, that means these reasons for each of a category of business. Our snack seller had his reasons or their reason. All these are from actual implementation. Believe me, I've told you nothing is theory. All this what you read is from an actual business. That's unable to recruit, train new people, lack of management understanding, you go for automation. Understand the rules, regulations under which I've told you practically. So that is the best example. Then there could be local laws governing the deliveries, how deliver, like now today, when we use delivery boys for food delivery or anything, we get a message that our delivery person is fully vaccinated. Implementation of a rule that delivery persons have to be vaccinated. We get this message fully. Fully means both doses they have taken. Great. So whatever is the local law, governing law, that process has to comply, the automation has to comply with that law. And it has to comply with the internal policies also. This is important. Please understand, document the process you need to automate. In our My Snack Seller example, we automated customer order. When you automate, what document to capture, where they come from, the format, who is involved in the processing, what is the impact of regulation on automating the document, can there be a better way of doing the same job other than the automation design? How exception, suppose a mistake happens, suppose a customer places an order, you don't receive it. Do you have a fallback mechanism? So what this snack seller did, it had a helpline number also. That it told that when you submit the Google form, you'll get an automatic message on your WhatsApp that we have received your order. If you don't receive the message, call this helpline number. how to handle exception. Very, very, very important. And in the module, it says define objective goals for BPA. So module says smart way. What is smart? Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. That is how you define it. Engage business process consultant to decide as to which consultant partner you need to, based on the business, based on the nature, based on the experience of the consultant, based on his prior experience of doing automation for business that is like your business, that is. So that is how you select a consultant. Calculate the ROI. In fact, we are all chartered accountants, so we all know what is ROI, return on investment. You can all do IRR calculation, discounted cash flow equal to discounted cash inflows, outflows include inflows. So all these calculations you can do. So I'm not elaborating this one. Once that is so, see, the step 6 is critical because it tells that this is the cost and this is the benefit. So if your benefits go high, implement, start developing. ROI has been computed, management is approved, develop. And before you develop, once you have developed, test and implement. So there are examples in the module that automation of the purchase order. So please read it from the module, both the examples. Last one I am sharing. Okay. So because module is with you, you can read. If you have any question, come back to me on that. So what we have been able to do, we have automated the internal audit process. So the team members, they don't take paper pen, they take mobile, all online, full automation. So time is short. Had there been offline class, I will have showed you live how this online real-time internal audit process works. Automation. How does it help us? Performance is there. 10 people working, we know who is doing how. Then efficiency. In a day, how many vouchers is checked, that is documented. So, and we can do a very good analysis based on those documentation, that is. Okay, now to your questions. Yeah. So return on investment is basically so I'm taking your questions. Return on investment is whatever cost you incur in creating an automation of business process, the benefits that arise after the automation process. So benefits have to be more than the cost you incur. That is ROI, return on investment. Okay, 10 to 15 minutes. ROI, return on investment. Good. Now I am reading your answers. So the discussion we wanted to have today is still this one. We'll start risk and management in the next class. Let me read the answers you have given. Okay. Just give me a second. Good. So you made good effort. Great. So Pooja, lockdown imposed, institute virtual classes. Very good. So lockdown imposed, comply with law governing education, create app, objective to ensure education, need for VCC, successful, great, claps. Then Himanshu, Sabjiwala. So advertising. So I'm reading one step. So you can just let me bring the slide so that we know what we are reading. So here are the steps. Okay. So step 1, advertising. Step 2, COVID rules to follow. Very good. Online delivery setup, good quality. 4 step, good quality food guarantee. Making WhatsApp, order making. Very good. Making 6 step, making app for ordering. Feedback form. Very good. Then yeah. Lockdown info, Pooja, we have read. Smridhi, grocery seller. Changes in dynamic environment and technological changes first. Second, rules compliance with e-business. Third, customer relationship. Fourth, expansion of business. Consultation services. calculation of R. Great. Fantastic. So all answered very well. Good. So yeah, business process. So see, Akshobhya, your question has answered. He has asked whether business process automation will be, so it is going to be process oriented. That is the answer to your question. Okay, Shruti. So integrity is a word that is there. It is going to come in later lectures also. Today being the first day, so we want to conclude. Any questions you have, then we'll conclude for today. Any questions, please put. Because I understand first day to have a long class, sometimes we take a hit. And I understand that you are all must be having a busy day today. 1st April, new financial year, new year as per the Hindu calendar. So a lot of celebrations going on. So if any questions you have, please ask. Else we'll go ahead and meet next day. 30 seconds for you to ask questions. By the time I'll scroll up for any unanswered query. Good. Harshita has given a big answer. So I'm not reading the answer, but the third chocolate will go to Harshita. She has made a good effort. Very good, Harshita. Neha has also given a good answer. School steps. Very good. Okay. Enough for today. Yeah, enough. So nothing more. Grocery. Yeah, Karthik. Thank you. And then flowchart. So I think I wanted to talk about flowchart, but then okay, let us not. What I'll do, we'll meet. Okay, just 2 minutes on. I wanted to give you an exercise, but we are not doing today. We'll do in the next class. Flowchart is basically diagrammatic representation of flow of transaction. That is basically flowchart. So let us only have a definition today. Timing is one thing we need to manage. We'll do it start of the class next day. Okay. Business process management. Okay. That is Akshobhya. So see, understand, see, process is the way you do. Business process is your business process. Management is ensuring economy, efficiency, effectiveness of the process. How you ensure that? You can do it through creating automation of that business process management. That is how you link it. Yes, automation of payments. Great, Tejas. Teja, thank you. Bakery business, Neha, good. Okay, so let us, Gauravansh, I have been sharing that, how to prepare for exam. So that is for today. So let us call the day. We are closing the class. You have next 2 days to observe whatever I have shared. So when we meet on the next session, the first thing that I'll expect you is to write your observation on all that I have discussed. Everything we talked about is actually happening outside your house, outside your hostel, PG, home, office. Just now you have a different eye to that process. See from a technology perspective. Believe me, you will learn much better. Thank you for today. Bye. Milton will make good effort. Great. And claps for all of you. Our interaction has hit 500 plus. So my target is 500. If we interact 500 plus interactions on the keyboard, on this chat, then I feel happy. Thank you. So we are closing. Thank you. Bye.